Hey there, so we got another cool toy from Jakks Pacific. It's not usually a toy I go for ever, but I decided I'm going to give it a shot, and today we're going to be taking a look at their 19-inch Batman figure, Daredevil. So, this is their Batman figure from the new Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice movie that's coming out. As you can see on the packaging, it says Batman, has Batman, has some other guy on it, and gonna read you the back of the package real quick, and then we're gonna bust this bad bat open. Driven by the haunting vision of his parents' brutal slaying, the orphaned young billionaire Bruce Wayne has devoted his life to becoming the world's greatest weapon against crime, Batman. The ultimate vigilante superhero, this Dark Knight's mastery of physical strength and intellectual superiority fuel his relentless pursuit of justice against the great evils in Gotham City and beyond. Yeah, that's Batman. So, let's open them up. Me! This is the 19-inch Batman figure. Stands on his own pretty easy. Doesn't wobble too much if I smack the table, so. He's got a couple points of articulation. He's got regular arm, swivels just in the shoulders, does a full 360. He has hip joints that aren't too crazy. Just a simple upwards forward, so if you just want Batman hella kicking a dude, there you go. Head rotation right on the neck. One thing that's a little weird about it though, if you turn his head all the way to certain angles, you might see a little bit of gap. So if you do that, I say just do it just a little bit slightly. Try to keep it to where it's nicely angled so you're not seeing directly behind the jaw. Other than that though, like the sculpt on it looks really cool. This is a really neat figure. Most of the reason why I never get things like this is their sculpts are either just not really defined, just seems like it's missing something, but Jakks like hit the nail on the head here. They have like all these little pouches on the belt are completely painted in specific areas. Even his little claw things on the side of his gauntlets have paint. Even his knuckles do too. Speaking of, he also has a wrist rotation right there. If you look really closely on the figure and even on the actual batsuit in the movie, it has all these tiny little divots and little areas that poke up, and each one of them is masterfully sculpted all over this figure. It looks really good. I really don't think I can say anything that's really bad about it, like other than like just, you know, basic articulation stuff, because I love articulation. If this guy had like, you know, some knee joints, maybe, you know, an ankle tilt, or maybe even a bicep crunch. Does he have a hip swivel? Even a hip swivel would have been done really well, but like for just a tall Batman figure where you just want a decent representation of Ben Affleck's Batman, this is not a bad way to go. It looks freaking cool, and compared to the other figures it has with the armored Batman, they have Wonder Woman, they have Superman, they're all about the same kind of level of detail and quality. They're all really cool. I think my favorite piece on this though is easily the cape. Like look at this, here on the back, it's a different type of material, but on the inside it's much more of a soft kind of velvety kind of material. It feels really nice, but also shows that like if you have it like kind of brought forward like around in front of them, it looks like it's a different kind of color. So if you took photos of it, it's gonna look different. It's gonna look neat. The other thing too is like, I don't know if Jakks recommends this, but there's some stitching up here on the shoulders, and it pulls the cape back so it sits nicely on his shoulders. I bet you if you cut those and just pulled them out a little bit, you can kind of get the cape draped over his shoulders if you prefer that kind of a look. So if that's the only thing that's really bothering you on this, and you want like a Batman with a cape that goes over like that, you could probably still do it with just a little bit of trimming. This is like easily one of the neatest tall Batman figures I've seen, and like the one that sticks out to me as my absolute favorite was the Batman animated series ones with the light up eyes. But I mean, this comes up there as one of the cooler ones. This is neat. So here we're gonna compare it to another figure that I'm more used to, a SH figure art, and these things have crazy amounts of articulation, crazy amount of detail. Now the only thing that's really like similar in between the two is that the Batman has a crazy amount of detail, and so does this figure right here. But the reason why I really appreciate this larger one is that it has some details on it that are on the suit as well that sometimes you might not be able to convey as well on a smaller figure like this one, or even their own 6H figure lines. So while this one has double jointed elbows and double jointed knees, this one really only has a really easy leg cut, really easy arm cut that does a full 360 rotation, a head that does a full 360, and a wrist joint that does also full 360. This Batman seems like it could do so much more. It screams out that it wants to be able to move and do other things. Honestly, I think if they remolded this and added some new joints to it, like maybe a thigh cut, a waist cut, a knee cut, and an elbow cut, this figure could have a lot more life to it. than just being mostly a static statue almost. Even then though, this toy for its price point of you know, $20, $25 compared to like a figure where it's 30 to 60 bucks. Like, I mean, if they made more figures like these, I'd probably pick some of these up too. These are really neat. It'd be a really cool addition to anybody's Batman collection for sure. Especially if you want taller versions of all the different Batman out there. Actually, if Jakks did other versions of Batman where it was like, you know, the Christian Bale Batman, the Val Kilmer Batman, Clooney Batman, Keaton Batman, like if they did all those in these kind of figures, I'd probably buy all of them. These things are neat. I really like them. So, that thumbs up. Wait, no, it's no smile, because Batman.